girls are talking about Natalie and trying to spin the narrative as if this was her that did all this.
A few minutes later.
Show me the receipts!
You wanna come chat with me real quick?
Preston and you are a clique, and she was like, well, you don't understand what it's like being friends with them. Like, it's
that Natalie wants to be Sherlock Holmes and deliver this news. Girl, that is not your place.
Boom!
yeah, that was me. I'm the one that brought it up.
Who the hell is this bitch?
What's up, y'all? It's Brian Keith, and I'm back with another video. Today, we're gonna talk about the finale of Summer House Martha's Vineyard, season 2. This was a great season. For me personally, was it better than season 1? No, but it was good for a different plethora of reasons. I like the fact that the crew is definitely becoming more solidified in their bonding, but I do personally want to see more people be added to the show, give us a little more of a dynamic, because I do feel like the majority of the cast has, you know, I want to say fell off, but they're definitely chilling much more. But y'all, let's get into the video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and enjoy.
Yeah, let me check my shit real quick. Hotter than the fire coming out my flaming lips. You wanna play with me? You can't play in me. On the playground, bitch, you can't play with me. Got it, want it, securing the bag.
So the episode basically starts with Bria and Nick. They're going back and forth again, and Nick is basically telling Bria, like, why is it okay that you can, you know, get loud, yell, antagonize, but I can't?
Get out.
Last year, you went upstairs, blacked on everybody, went upstairs. I'm the only one that came to your aid and fed you when you have nothing to eat.
Let it out.
Nobody else gave
Let
a
it out.
And I totally agree. I feel like this whole, you know, respectability politics shit that they have is just like, even when Alex said it later in the episode, it's just like, you know, I don't like arguing with women, and I feel like we can't, you know, go back and forth. So if Bria does start popping off, we should just retreat and just walk away.
No, that's not the case.
And I don't think that's right, because I feel like if you can verbally assault someone and berate someone and disrespect someone, at the end of the day, like, it's give and take. Now, if that's what they want to do, cool. I'm not that bitch. Like, my whole thing is I'm going to give everyone respect when it's due. I feel like that's just an automatic thing. I try to respect people automatically, but disrespect is definitely earned. So it's just like, they were like, oh, well, you know, we just got to walk away. Or when Bria was like, she went to Simon, like, yeah, and Nick is just being so disrespectful.
else at the ladies, because you're not raising your voice to my woman like that.
That's why I walk away, because I'm like, you're talking too loud. Next caller.
He's not there being disrespectful. What he did, he checked every last one of y'all to let you know what time it was, and to let you know that you're not about to disrespect me and paint me out to be this horrible person that I'm not. So my whole thing is, in the midst of all of this, you know, they already asked the question, like, who brought this up? Natalie, big ball had to ask over here, just like, oh, I did, but that's the only thing she said. And then she's sitting in the midst of conversation. Where's Simon? Minding his business somewhere else because he's not in the house. She wants to be in the mix, and honestly, no, you don't get allowed to be in this space. And with Amir, I'm gonna get to Amir, because Amir, he tried it. He tried me. I'm so irritated. So after everything blows up, like I said, Bria walked off, but, you know, they want to reconvene and talk. And, you know, they're talking about Bria basically saying, like, you know, she's childish. The girl just always wants to go up and argue and just storm off, and nobody can basically, you know, get at her on the same level. And I feel like, you know, they use kid gloves with Bria, and I don't like that. But Nick's asking Bria, like, okay, what did I do? I flirted with you. You said I flirted with you on the boat. What did I do?
Using the word flirty.
Whatever. Okay, so you're getting defensive again, and I'm speaking my piece.
And Bria's basically saying, like, I didn't, like, bring it up. Like, I was just saying, you know, I don't like arguing. I don't like confrontation. I'm just like, girl, the devil is a lie. Because, girl, you like to argue. You was talking shit about Nick and the girlfriend situation outside. So that's one thing is, the overall situation is they was having girl talk. They were talking about Nick and his behavior in the house towards Jordan and Summer. Facts, right? But they openly stated, I am not bringing it up because it's not that deep and it's not my place. Natalie thought it was a good idea to bring it up, right? Yeah. So they all come to a common ground because, like I said, it's not that deep, and it was what it was.
I never said you made me feel uncomfortable. None of that. So that was never said, and I want to make that clear to
you. The next day, everybody's over here doing, like, different little activities. I think Nick and Amir go golfing, and they talk about, you know, the whole situation with Natalie, Tasia, right? So Amir's basically saying, like, I wasn't up there to hear the conversation. However, Natalie's like, she shouldn't be blamed for the whole situation. To be honest, Natalie got it off very light. She didn't. Nobody confronted her at all. So I look at Amir like, what? I'm just confused. However, Amir's just like, but I'm happy that Nick, he kept it straight with him. He was just like, look, we had a conversation last night. Me, Shanice, Noel, and Bria, we had a conversation last night, and they told me that, they did talk about it. They did, talk about me in the situation, but they agreed not to bring it up. And your girl was the one who went to bring it up. Now, Amir is over here trying to contort his body and try to make it make sense to us. It's not making sense, because you're talking about, oh, well, Tasia and Natalie, they're friends, and they're a girl's girl. She's a girl's girl, so she's trying to help her out. I don't give a damn about none of that, because at the end of the day, if she was a girl's girl and if she wanted to help her girl out, then why the fuck did she not bring it up beforehand when she borrowed them clothes in the closet?
I want to know that. Okay. I really want to know that.
If she was a girl's girl and she wanted to help her friend out, then why did she bring it up before they sat down at dinner?
I want to know that. Okay. I really want to know that.
There were so many opportunities to bring it up before Tasia left. Like Tasia said, girl, I ain't got time. She told her to go. It seemed, like I said before, it seemed premeditated and calculated that you wanted to have a moment to get the mess started. Now, if one of them girls would have bopped you upside your skull,
I don't go no violence,
then it would be an issue, right? So that's why I'm just looking like, why is it okay for this girl, for Amir? Amir, why is it okay for you to, hold people accountable, talk stern, don't yell at me, all these things with the other girls in the house, your friends? But with Natalie, I get that's your girl, cool. But she gets a pass on everything. I didn't like it. But later that night, Alex has his, fill the space, and he's over here, singing again.
Jesus, freaking school. This definitely isn't my vibe at all.
I ain't gonna hold you, like, Alex is not really like, when I see people on Bravo sing and stuff, the only one I'm just like, oh, I love their music, is Candace. Everybody else, I'm just like, okay.
fast forward.
But at this moment, Summer is doing a lot of reflecting, and she feels like she's in such a dark space, and I really feel for her, because I can understand how that is. And for me, I was in a dark space when I dropped out of college, right? Back in 2014. So I dropped out of college and took time off, and during that time I had to really figure out what I wanted to do with life. I had to figure out that I'm not in school, I'm not around my friends that I made, I'm back home, I feel like a failure. All these things that's going on in my head, and then managing that almost every grandparent passed away literally back to back to back within years, and then I only have one grandparent left. I want to go spend some time with this grandparent. My parents, I don't talk to my dad. It's just a lot of things that's going on that where I just like, okay, it feels like I'm overwhelmed. But I feel like she's definitely going to make it over the hill, because I know I felt like I made it over the hill, and retrospectively I can look back and just like, you know what, I feel really good about how I handled the situation and where I'm at. So hopefully she can have that aha moment. Hopefully she can really, find time to, one, go talk to someone professional, someone like, for me, I have a therapist that I talk to just to talk things out. We have casual conversations, we have deep conversations. It just depends on what goes on, and it can be once a month, girl. If it is,
Girl, you got the coin.
it could be once every 3 months, once every 6 months. Like it just up to you. But I do feel like Summer should talk to someone, because girl, you can tell she just seems so heavy. And I feel for her, honestly. But, that night they get back home. Summer's talking to Jordan. She's very emotional. And she decides to go home. She said, like, I think it's best for me to leave, because at this moment I have so much stuff going on, and I just can't, seem to grasp how I'm feeling at this moment. And I feel like I support her decision to leave early. I think it was the best decision she could have made at that moment. And on top of that, I don't know if she should come back for season 3.
I feel like it's the best decision to not be here. Especially because we only have 2 days left. It's like, it's not gonna feel good. You gotta go, you gotta go.
I feel like maybe she should, you know, take some time off and just try to recenter herself. But if she do come back for season 3, it would be nice to see like a more involved person. So we'll see. Milo go missing. Everybody's freaking out. Thank God they finally found that dog.
Milo. Oh, we might have to have like a search team. Milo! What the? Milo!
Oh, mind you, after they find Milo and everything, everybody's going in, they're cooking, you know, just chit-chatting. So Amir's like, you know, I'm confused on how I got brought up into the mess with Nick. And I'm confused, Amir, because when did you get brought up with the mess with Nick? I don't think you got brought up, Amir. I think your girlfriend got brought up.
Does Amir have to bring this up and we have to revisit the past? Why can't he just admit that his girl's a little messy and we can move on? Why do I have to keep taking the fault for this shit?
So you're confused on what? That she's a messy bitch? I mean, I don't see how that's so confusing. But so he's basically trying to rehash the situation, and everybody's already just like, why are we talking about this again? We already talked about it. We already figured out that your girlfriend was a messy bitch. It was what it was. So why are we still talking about it? So Amir's just like, oh, well, you know, I just don't understand how she was just helping out. She's a girl's girl. You know, y'all were the one that brought it up, so y'all should take responsibility. No, they took responsibility that they were talking shit. Period. They were talking shit about Nick. We already know that.
Oh, but he still has been touchy-feely. I'm like, he's the type that I'm pretty sure if somebody was down to him when he's in that state, he would do it.
But your girlfriend did not take responsibility. And I'm happy that Nick went and watched What Happens Live. And he even said that, you know what? In retrospect, Natalie should have got a little bit more accountability because she was messy as hell. So it was what it was. So they going back and forth. And like you say, for me, Bria is just that type of girl that just nag on that last nerve. And, you know, Amir's just like, stop yelling at me. Stop yelling at me.
It was brought up from his broad.
Full responsibility for your girl, bro.
Stop raising your voice to me.
Basically just tell him, like, look, take some responsibility for your bitch. Like, don't over here try to just make it seem like it's us. And it's so funny because it really do seem like everyone is trying to walk on like eggshells about blasting Natalie when they really could have.
Are talking about Natalie and trying to spin the narrative as if this was her that did all this.
The part that irritates me with Amir is the fact that it's okay for the other girls to be messy, talk all that junk and do all that, but he's trying to absolve his girlfriend of any accountability. Now I could see if he could say, okay, well, you know, I'm trying to figure out what she did. Okay, she was being messy. Cool. But no, he's not even doing that. He's trying to make it seem like she had nothing to do with it. But in retrospect, in all actuality, if she would have shut her fucking mouth, then this would have happened. But to each his own.
I felt irritated because Amir, he made this comment. He's like, well, you know, I'm happy that, you know, I had this time to spend with Natalie. I had so much fun, but now the fun is gone. Now I got to be more reserved and more conservative because my girlfriend's not here and she would chew me out if I did stuff like Nick, da 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 da. And my whole thing is, he's saying he's not having fun when his girlfriend's not there because he has to basically restrict himself, right? And I just feel like that's, first of all, to me, your relationship is already on shaky water, whatever. But it's just like, I don't think that's right. Like, he's like, well, you know, I can't do certain things. I have to leave the room because I have a girlfriend and she would kill me. So at the end of the episode, everybody is talking about, you know, the summer. I wish they would have had like a rehashing, just talk about like where everybody's at. But you know, that could cause drama, whatever. But everybody's basically doing impressions of each other. It's really cute, nothing too crazy. I really do love this show, right? I feel like Martha's Vineyard has definitely gave me a great perspective of, you know, representation on TV. And I think that's the biggest takeaway from this show is like, is it like Housewives where it's like this big major drama, the witty comebacks? No, but it's good to see that you have black people that are successful of all different backgrounds, can come together, have a good time, over here yell, argue, but resolve it as friends, like true friends. And it's something good to see because you really don't see that all the time, right? So I feel like it is good to have representation like Family Karma, Martha's Vineyard, Potomac, Atlanta. Like these are certain shows that I feel like we do need on the show. Dubai, like these are certain things that we need, right? But like everybody leaves and it was what it was.
Martha girl, we were lit this summer. We came, we saw, we conquered, and we are still figuring this out.
We see Jasmine. She basically gave birth to her baby, Silas Jr. Silas comes in and, you know, he surprised her. It was really cute, right? I'm about to talk about my season, who contributed the most this season. I got a whole list of who contributed most from 1 to 10, right? So for me, I feel like Summer contributed the most this season. I feel like Summer definitely, she was a lot of the storyline for the season, right? Number 2 was Noelle. Noelle is MVP. She was one of the best new Bravo celebrities that I've seen this year. Noelle was great. 3, even though I don't like her character on the show, Bria. I feel like Bria is always in a mess. Bria's always going to say what she had to say. Bria is the epitome of drama. So shout out to her. 4, Jasmine. I feel like I've definitely softened a lot more to Jasmine, and I really do like the fact that she, came in by herself. She really had to figure out, she's a new mother. She's going through pregnancy. She's going through her situation with her friendships where Jordan, Preston, and all these other people dropped her during the summer. And when they came back to Martha's Vineyard, they had to really figure out their friendship. And hopefully they talk a little bit about that at the reunion, because I feel like Jordan still hasn't even spoke about why she is not good with Jasmine. And they still haven't talked about it, right? 5, Nick got the 5th spot just because I feel like Nick, he came through at the end of the season. And I want to say shout out to Nick. I just feel like, he stood up for what he had to, and we saw a little bit more of him than last season. 6, Amir. I put Amir 6 just because the whole Natalie situation and the whole drama there, and the off-season drama as well, when he's over here demanding Natalie to be a full-time cast member, which I'm happy that the girls, Noelle, Jasmine, and I think it was Shanice, they talked about it, how it was just like, girl, if you don't want to, if you want to demand, then maybe you shouldn't be back on the show. 7, Shanice. I feel like Shanice is a wild girl. Shanice is gonna have fun, and I feel like Shanice is needed for the show because a lot of people are coupled up, and she's a fun girl. Where you have on the opposite with Alex, who is single, but he is just so in his own world. Alex really don't bring much, so it was what it was. Preston. We learned a little bit about Preston, that he got married, has a boyfriend, but that's really all that we've learned a little bit. He got into it with Bria episode 1, but that was really it. Jordan. For me, Jordan was the most disappointed from season 1 to now. I feel like Jordan, it was on a downhill. And I was just like, oh, okay. So that was my list for who contributed most this season. Now, my favorites, the season ranking. So number 1, season ranking. Number 1 is Noelle. Number 2 is Preston. Number 3 is Nick. Number 4 is Jasmine. Number 5 is Shanice. Number 6 is Summer. Number 7 is Bria. Number 8 is Alex. Number 9 is Jordan. And last is Amir. Because Amir,
you got me fucked up.
Before all that bullshit happened, Amir probably would have been at 7. Not that much of a change. But y'all, that was the end of the season. Pray that they get a season 3. But we'll see what happens, y'all. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Brian Keith, LG, Black View. Bet you didn't know we the Holy Trinity. Now let a guy stop a jolly, break your head here. Step into the room and get up in the bed. It tastes sweet, that's cause I'm good. It tastes sour cause I'm better than the hood. Cause I get you hyper when I'm running all around. Cause